Good evening. We'd like to go ahead and start the program here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dr. Tom Moore. I'm the Vice Dean. Dr. Told and I will be tag teaming the MC duties today. And it's my pleasure to get up and start the program tonight. This is a great occasion. This is the opportunity for us to get together with our colleagues and friends and faculty and staff and celebrate the accomplishments of the class of 2014. Look at you guys. You made it. Congratulations. All right. Now, I heard that on Tuesday night there was a little bit of a soiree with the class members, and we're not going to get quite as crazy tonight. Maybe. I mean, you should see Dr. Told. Sometimes there's no controlling him. He knows what I'm talking about. But we're going to revel in the accomplishments of all of you and what you've done, and take a few moments to recognize some special members of the class of 2014 who have distinguished themselves over the last 4 years. I hope that everybody has gotten the chance to watch the screens over the last several minutes as it scrolled through the pictures of our graduating class and where they're going and what they looked like 4 years ago in their white coats. You guys were a handsome bunch, weren't you? There's been a lot of changes over the last 4 years, hasn't there? And for us, watching you grow, watching you mature, watching the development of all of you as you've gone from what you were back then to being new physicians is something that is at the core of why those of us who've decided to go into academic medicine, it's why we do what we do. Watching you guys grow and develop and get to the point where you can enter your residency, become osteopathic physicians, and do us proud. And we are so proud of you all. Tonight is our opportunity to do justice to that and to talk about the accomplishments that all of you have had. So before we start with the program, I want to make sure that you know that by me being up here, that means I'm not eating my dessert, and that pains me gratefully. But everybody does have this little piece of chocolate here, and if you ever wanted to eat Rocky Vista in the past, you can now eat Rocky Vista University, and I encourage all of you to do that. With that said, I'd like to introduce our first guest, and many of you left, pretty much all of you left campus before Dr. Lovell assumed the presidency of Rocky Vista University. And we're so pleased to have her at the helm of our institution. Her vision, her style of leadership is exactly what Rocky Vista needs to take us into the future. And although you did not get to work with her while you guys were still on campus, she is very much a part of who we are now and in the future. And so with that said, I'd like to introduce the president of Rocky Vista University, Dr. Cheryl Lovell.
Thank you, Dr. Moore. It's my pleasure to add my welcome. Welcome for attending this third annual Rocky Vista University graduation dinner. We're here tonight to celebrate the achievements and accomplishments of the class of 2014. We are so proud of you and are so thrilled with you and for you. Completing a college degree is no small task. In fact, according to the U.S. Department of Education, as of December of 2013, if you take all of the citizens in the United States aged 25 and over, 32% have a bachelor's degree. About 12% have a master's degree. And an even smaller percentage, only 4%, have a doctoral degree that includes law, medicine, a PhD, or an EDD. You indeed are among a small percentage of the U.S. population And for this accomplishment, you should feel very proud. Not to overuse a common phrase, but it does take a village to get to this point in your professional life. Your faculty and your staff at Rocky Vista University certainly played a significant part, as did those faculty and staff at your undergraduate and master's degree granting institutions. Equally important to your achievements are the many mentors who supported you, encouraged you, and sometimes gave you that oh-so-needed kick in the pants. I'd like to ask that you raise a glass now to honor those who provided that mentorship. I'd also like to ask those who in attendance tonight who are your mentors to please stand and be recognized. So mentors, please stand. Let's give them a warm thank you for their mentorship. Your mentors definitely included the faculty and staff here at Rocky Vista University, but they also include your family and your friends. So if you're sitting next to someone who's provided that mentorship to you, please reach over and give them a hug as well. And to those family mentors, the family mentors, raise your hand if you're a family friend mentor here. So I'm going to actually grant you a degree. The mentors who are here, you're actually going to receive tonight a PhD, putting him or her through. So with all of the power invested in me as president of Rocky Vista University, you are now receiving your PhD. I want to take a moment, if I can, to also introduce some people who provide tremendous leadership for Rocky Vista University. Some of our trustees are here tonight, and I want to give them a chance to stand up and be recognized. Our Board of Trustees Chair, Dr. Vanessa Sanchez, is here with her husband, Jim Williams. Dr. Williams. And Dr. Maha Salam is here for our Board of Trustees. You all get a chance to see the faculty and staff on a regular basis, so you know who our faculty are and you know who our staff are, but there are people who are working behind the scenes in your behalf as well, who provide just as much leadership and just as much responsibility for making Rocky Vista University successful. One of those people is here tonight. Mr. Peter Freytag is our Chief Operating Officer and our Chief Financial Officer. Will you please stand? So there are lots of people working, again, on your behalf to make sure you are successful. We have a full evening of acknowledging exactly all of those accomplishments. And I'd like to move on with the program and have Dr. Megan Croteau come to give you greetings from the Rocky Vista University Alumni Association. Dr. Croteau.
Thank you, Dr. Lovell. Well, congratulations, everybody. You made it to this point. I was here 2 years ago eating my fabulous dinner, and I was so excited to go into residency and to start my journey as being an osteopathic physician. And let me tell you, it is everything it is cracked up to be, and even more. There's tears and heartaches, but also those outweigh everything good and awesome that is coming to you in the next few years. So I want you to take tonight, enjoy the moment that you are having, and remember that the next years are going to be tough and hard, but they're going to be fabulous. So congratulations on making it to this point. On behalf of the Alumni Association, we are just so incredibly proud to welcome each and every one of you into the Alumni Association. You are now Rocky Vista University alumni. How exciting is that? So remember, Remember to celebrate tonight with all of your loved ones. Celebrate this moment. Keep it dear to your heart, and congratulations.
It's my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, and it's always great when we have somebody of this stature to be able to come and share our time of recognition and celebration. I'd like to introduce the president of the American Osteopathic Association, Dr. Norm Venn. Dr. Venn is a graduate of the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. He did his residency in family practice at Botsford University in Michigan, and he's had a distinguished career throughout the last several decades. And he's also an accomplished surfer. Seriously. My wife and I tried surfing just a couple weeks ago down in Mexico, and it's hard. It's hard, and he still does it. This is really incredible. So with that said, it's my absolute pleasure to introduce the president of the American Osteopathic Association, Dr. Norm Venn.
What Tom didn't tell you is that when you travel like this for the AOA, you know, you start putting on what they call the presidential 25. I still go out there, but these days I'm a little more worried about getting harpooned. But you never give up. You never give up. As one of the old Hawaiian guys used to say, you go till you know can go, right? And that's whatever you like in life, that's what you need to aspire to, whether it's medicine or your personal life or your family, you go till you know can go. I want to thank Dean Told, Vice Dean Moore, President Lovell, for letting me come tonight and spend a little time with you. This is a big time, and it is a time of joy. I tell people that it's wonderful to attend graduations because there's just so much joy in the room. Does everybody feel it's a pretty joyous occasion? Isn't that a nice thing? Yeah. And we all know there's a lot of challenges and difficulties in the world, and there'll be sadnesses in our career. So you need to celebrate and cherish the joyful moments because those are what carry you through. It is an honor to be here. It's the start of a new chapter in your career. I just heard the word journey. One of my favorite phrases is that you started a journey. You've passed one milestone. You're moving toward another milestone. Many years ago, of course, according to my daughter, somewhere back in the Paleolithic age, I graduated. I felt pretty proud. And actually, and there's a lot of parents here tonight, a few parents here tonight. And, you know, my father, who was a DO, was out there. And it made me feel even better to see the pride on his face. That was a really special moment. So parents, this is a great day for you. I felt the same pride when my own daughter, Vanessa Venn, graduated. In the small world category, many of you, know Dr. Dubin, the dean that was here before Dr. Told, good friend of mine. Before he came here, it was at TCOM, and he was my daughter's dean. So, and so you've just had an incredible legacy and succession of great educators and great leaders here at your school. That, in the overall scheme of life, you don't know how to compare with other schools, but I can tell you, you've got it good here with your leaders and with Dr. Lovell. Because I've had many conversations with her, and I've talked with many college presidents, and she gets it. As we say, my favorite phrase is she drank the Kool-Aid. She gets it. She gets the DO thing, the osteopathic distinctiveness. Our profession started with a vision, 100 from AT Still, And ever since the beginning, we have faced challenges. And those challenges are going to continue. And we've overcome the challenges in the past, and we will continue to overcome challenges, and we will do so with distinction. And you will help be a part of that process. I like to think of our predecessors as our heroes. Now, I'm going to go a little off script tonight, which is actually usually the rule rather than the exception. It's nice because we're not actually in the auditorium, so we can talk a little more conversationally tonight, I hope. Many of you know that I'm become really obsessed with celebrating and reinforcing our culture. And so I talk a lot about heroes, and I talk a lot about guardians. And the heroes, as you well know, the unsung heroes are people like my father, who never served any offices, never had any formal leadership roles, but they lived each day as an example of what an osteopathic physician should be. And they created great role models for us. They created great examples in the community. They opened doors for us. And the guardians are the people who serve in leadership. You know, Dr. Told is a past president of the American College of Osteopathic Family Physicians. I don't know how many of you know that. That's where I first became really acquainted with him. And he's always been such a man of high credibility and dignity. And these are the kind of people that I'm proud to call friends. And we have thousands of people out there like that who are guardians of the profession. They've served in roles at a state, national, local level. They've served in their specialty colleges. They've served in the AOA. So our predecessors and many of our contemporaries are our heroes. On their journey, everyone has made history. Sometimes it doesn't seem so obvious, but we have made history and we continue to make history. And that's a pretty exciting thing. It's really easy to not fully appreciate the challenges and the barriers that people had to overcome that went before us. My own father in World War II, he wanted to step up to the plate and volunteer to be in the military, but the only option he had was to go in as a nurse. And that didn't change until 1966. And when he went in, he didn't go in, I'm saying, when we went in 1966, we didn't go in demanding all kinds of perks and roles. We went in as basically the grunt field physicians in Vietnam, doing the tough jobs. And what we did is we distinguished ourselves. And that's what we continue to do. We've had a Surgeon General of the Army, Ron Blank. Mark Hahn, who's president of Kansas City, military. Bill Strample, Dean of Mission State, military legacy. And I know you have many military people here. And I actually just realized the other day, I think Tom had told me this, but it reminded me that you have an extraordinary percentage of your class that are on military programs. So for all you, I want to give you my own round of applause. Thank you for your service. I was able to go and speak to the military physicians recently to inaugurate their new president. It was a very touching ceremony. The military people know about this, about having the table in the side of the room. It's very symbolic, with the tablecloth and the empty chair for somebody who's missing. It really kind of chokes me up when I think about it. But it's a beautiful ceremony. Everybody was incredibly polite. I told them I haven't been called sir that many times since the last time I got a speeding ticket. Anyway, you're here. You've overcome your own set of challenges. You have the privilege of putting DO after your name. You're going to, from here on out, you're going to be a DO for the rest of your life. And we have survived. We have prospered. We're now over 100,000 strong in the osteopathic profession. We're a growing profession. Clayton Christensen, the author of the book Disruptive Innovation, had a book on healthcare called The Innovator's Prescription. And he listed osteopathic medicine as one of the 3 great disruptive innovations of the next decade. Think about that. You're a part of that. What's that going to mean? Well, the truth is the story is still unfolding. We're not quite sure, but it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. Nearly 80% of our graduates in this growing profession, 80% of all DOs ever licensed graduated within the last 40 years. How's that for a statistic? Isn't that wild? You know, with all the things that are going on, and many of you know who they are, and that's not what I'm here to talk about, what they are, and that's not what I'm here to talk about tonight. Part of our obsession at the board and leadership level of the AOA is to recognize that this is a young and growing profession. You know, the road doesn't need to be paved for Dr. Told and I. The road needs to be paved for you. But guess what? You have a stewardship role. We're going to talk a little bit about that. You need to pave that road too. I'm going to issue a call to adventure tonight. I talk a lot about the journey of the mythic hero. If you've ever read any Joseph Campbell, if you haven't, I would recommend you do. But he studied the idea of heroes and cultures. And you're going to join all your colleagues, living and deceased, on the mythic journey of the osteopathic profession. And now it's becoming your journey. And you are going to be our next generation of heroes. And I want you to think about three things as you move forward in this journey. Three key things. The first one is personal growth. Many years ago, my father said something to me that was quite profound. As young and immature and self-obsessed as I was, I actually listened. And he said, never think of yourself and compare yourself to other people. Ask yourself, am I better today than I was yesterday? And can I be better tomorrow? That'll be the true measure of your growth as an individual. And we like competition. Of course, competition is good. It makes us strive for excellence. But being a great doctor is not a contest. It's a journey of personal growth. So keep asking yourself, am I better today than I was yesterday, and can I do better tomorrow? The second thing I want to talk about is your mandate to be a leader. Now, many of you came to medical school and you said, I want to learn medicine, I want to learn osteopathic medicine, I want to take good care of people, I want to have a solid career, a nice place to raise my family. You didn't come in here saying, I want to be a leader. But I have a rude awakening for you. Even if you don't seek leadership roles, you are going to find that they find you. Because that's happened to many of us. It happened to me on an unlikely journey to be a leader. I went to California after my internship, went into practice, figuring I would make a decent living, raise a family, and basically be a surfer dude. Didn't happen that way because things started changing in the environment around us in California. There became things called selective contracting laws, and preferred provider organizations were dividing the house of medicine into the haves and the have-nots, the doctors that were on the contract and the doctors that weren't on the contract. Any of you are reading the news these days, which you don't have much time to do, there's actually a move like this going on right now. You're hearing the term narrow networks, where insurance companies are starting to narrow down their networks. So that's nothing new. That was happening in the mid-'80s. And so we knew something had to be done, and so several of us got together and formed, was basically a contracting organization to have a little more sophisticated seat at the table, have a little more leverage in these negotiations, and kind of protect the physicians that were a part of this. And then later on, I got involved with OPSC in California, and I had to start going to the House of Delegates. My first worry about going to the House of Delegates, because I was going to be president-elect, was, you mean I have to take a whole weekend where I can't surf? I'm serious. This is what happened to you. You know, John Lennon said life is what happens while you're making other plans. And these things kept happening, and that's why I'm saying they're going to come to you. Thomas Edison once said, and I use this quote all the time, opportunity is often missed because it's dressed in overalls and it looks like work. You're going to find that many times. Certainly the first time a lot of these things came across my plate, they were dressed in overalls and they looked like work. But they turned into opportunities. So don't be shy about taking advantage of those opportunities, being open-minded, being flexible. Give up a little productivity time and spend some time in service. Because you know you get out of something what you put into it. guess I should go back to my notes. Huh? I'm having too much fun just talking about the things I like to talk about. The environment's going to change. You know that. I know that. It's going to continue to change in most unexpected ways. There are people out there even right now with all the changes that are going on that seem to be the sudden oracles of the future. They want to tell us how everything's going to be, all the doom and gloom in the future. You know, you can talk about doom and gloom all day, but those sometimes become self-fulfilling prophecies. You got to think about the opportunities in the future. You got to think about the bright spots and not the dark spots. That's how you affect change. Nobody ever affected change running around talking about how terrible everything is. You think about that and you watch it closely. When you get in your residencies, you're going to have the complainers in there, the whiners. They're not the ones that improve anything. It's the people that put their head down, go to work. They show up early. They stay late. They get their notes done on time, right? They do their reading. They answer questions. Am I telling this right, our resident member here? Pretty simple formula to create opportunity for yourself. And that's what you will do. Maybe dressed in overalls and looks like work, huh? But many of you are going to get into different roles. You're going to be leaders of interprofessional teams. Your patients are going to look up to you. Your staff is going to look up to you. You're going to be in a leadership role, and sometimes you don't even know it, because that's how they look to you as a leader. Some of you are going to get involved in your state and specialty society. Some of you are going to get involved in the AOA, which is a good thing. It's not about ambition. It's about service. You got to remember that all the time. Some of you could end up like our first congressman, DO, since the 1930s, Joe Heck, who's from right in Nevada, which is almost a neighboring state. It's right south of here, isn't it? I do remember a few things about geography. But you've got a mandate. You've got to embrace your own mandate of leadership in whatever form it comes in. We're going to have this single graduate medical education system, which obviously has created a great debate on both sides of the discussion, but it's a great debate about the soul and future of the profession. It's probably the best discussion we've had in 50 years in this profession. And in that regard, no matter all the stress and the anxiety and the uncertainty and the questions and the back and forth of whose information do you trust, it's been a fabulous dialogue. It's been a privilege to be a part of that, because as you peel back the layers of the onion, it's really a discussion of who are we? Are we who we say we are? And I will call out to each of you to be who we say we are. We have a unique philosophy. We have humanism, distinctiveness. We have philosophic tenets that go way beyond OMT. And that doesn't mean that I don't do OMT, that I don't believe it's important. I'm a family physician. But 40% of you, at least profession-wide, are going into specialty programs. There needs to be something for you that you can trumpet every day, that you're distinctive in how you practice. As one of my classmates, the former recently retired editor of the JAOA, Gil D'Alonzo, used to say, he's a pulmonologist. He runs an ICU at Temple University. And he goes, you know, I don't do much OMT, but I practice osteopathic medicine every day. And somewhere out there, when you get really tired in your residency and you're annoyed and you're frustrated, I hope you'll remember, I'll sort of wake up and think about that, because sometime I have to go back and remind my own classmates to become specialists that they think they're not doing anything very different, but they're practicing with humanism and they're naturally touching people. They listen to people. They sit down at the bedside. They're not standing in the corner of the room with a chart in their hand, reading lab results. And when you recognize that, you'll say, okay, now I get it. Now I get it. It's yours and ours to lose, so that's why I keep emphasizing this every time I talk to a group. You need to be guardians of our profession. You need to celebrate our culture. If you have an opportunity, stay engaged with your family. Now, you can stay engaged just by being members of your osteopathic state and specialty society in the AOA. But stay engaged at whatever level you have to. It doesn't have to be a large engagement, but stay engaged somehow. We know that people who are engaged in any kind of enterprise or movement, and even in a small way, they tend to get more personal satisfaction out of it, and they tend to help that organization survive and proliferate. That is your duty. Now, nearly 140 years have passed since the founding of our profession. We've endured many challenges, as I said. We have a rich heritage to be remembered and celebrated. And I'm asking all of you, everybody remember the movie Pay It Forward? I'm asking all of you to think about your duty to be a steward of the profession. There are many people who laid down the paving stones to give you the road of opportunity you're traveling down. So at what point are you going to say, I have a duty to be a steward of the profession. I have a duty to pay it forward. I want to lay down those roads for those to go beyond me. So think about that. Think about the many ways you can be a steward. So I leave you today, I guess it's tonight, isn't it? It's not today. I leave you tonight with those three challenges: personal growth, the mandate of leadership, and the duty to be the steward that you can be for our profession and for our future. These principles will help you to serve your patients well. They will ensure that we have a sustainable, vibrant profession and that our culture endures. And you know, there's a great saying about culture. It came from Peter Drucker, a management guru in California. He says, culture eats strategy for lunch every day. So we can have all the strategic plans we want, but if we don't have that cultural glue that holds us together, that will be a big part of what's making us distinctive, how we think about patients, how we touch people, how we exhibit what I call that genetic material of humanism, compassion, and a view of the whole person, and the view that the body can heal itself, and our job is not to be a healer, but to be a mediator, create an environment where the body can heal itself. You remember all those things they talked about first year? It's still out there. I think about it every day. So I welcome all of you to the profession, which I will do again tomorrow briefly. I thank you for your attention because I know I'm the last thing between you and party, right? Which is whatever goes on later tonight, and I don't want to know the details. But you're going to have a great career. You're going to make us proud. You're going to be distinctive. So welcome and congratulations, class of 2014. Thank you very much.
It really is an honor to have Dr. Venn talk to us today. For those of you who don't know, this is a real watershed moment for the osteopathic profession, and what Norm and his colleagues with the AOA board have done are opening up doors that have never even been talked about before. And while there are some that call this time Normageddon, we believe that the vision looking into the future for the Osteopathic Association, American Osteopathic Association, is bringing us to a new level of relevance for our profession, and it's something that we're all very proud of. And thank you, Dr. Venn, for everything that you've done for us. And thank you again for delivering our keynote speech today. We appreciate it. Now, it's quite possible that I've had too much of the Kool-Aid to drink today. But the osteopathic Kool-Aid does pack a little bit of a punch, doesn't it? And for those of us who have been able to experience it for years, and those of you who are just starting to experience it as new osteopathic physicians, it is something that's tasty, but you got to watch out for it a little bit, right? We'd like to continue on with our next speaker, and that is your class president. The class president from the class of 2014, who will introduce the rest of the class officers, soon to be Dr. Reagan Stigman.
Thank you, Dr. Moore, and thank you, Dr. Venn. To my classmates, friends, family, and faculty, first off, I would like to acknowledge and thank the 2014 class officers, Vice President Slava Makler, Secretary Vanessa Campbell, Treasurer Genevieve Hillis, Curriculum Rep Austin Henry, and Historian Melissa Fuyan. It has been a 4-year whirlwind, and you all have been wonderful to work with. Thank you, guys. And to the rest of this fantastic class, all I can really say is, where did 4 years go? There have been a lot of transitions as the third class through Rocky Vista University, but the best things to remember are the fun times. One of my favorite memories was during Neuro with Dr. Wells and learning new colors with the Crayola color of the day. He helped keep that heavy section of our medical training light, and with the help of burnt sienna, purple mountain's majesty, neon carrot, and unmellow yellow. And don't you forget, salmon is a color, not a fish. It's not a color, and it's a fish. Sorry, I ruined that, but that's okay. And then there's the wonderful Dr. Stasio, who taught us a thing or two about relationships and baseball. Mainly that dyspareunia is better than no pareunia. And if you need to ask someone, feel free to turn to your neighbor, and hopefully they can offer some assistance in explaining that. Probably one of the highlights of my medical education were the never-ending acronyms and notoriously healthy habits of Dr. Darrow and his Mountain Dew addiction. You know, I'm pretty sure it's that Lake Yellow number 5 that gives Dr. Darrow such a healthy glow. And perhaps it's also preserving him. And here we are, almost fully on the other side of 4 years. I'm proud we have refined the art of drinking from the proverbial fire hose, and I hope we hold on to the numerous memories of tough love and comic relief we have shared over the years. May each of us rise as high as the famous Colorado mountains whose names we share as 14ers. If I may leave you with a line from the personal papers of Dr. A.T. Still, D.O. means dig on. I look forward to the successes that you will achieve throughout your careers, and I applaud you all for the trails that we have blazed and will continue to blaze as graduates of Rocky Vista University. Thank you.
Could I have Dr. Funk and Dr. Johnscox approach the podium, please? I'd like to turn the podium over to these two fine colleagues to introduce the fellows for both OPP and anatomy. Dr. Funk.
Well, it's definitely my honor to recognize and award Jonathan Vogts for his successful completion of the Anatomy Fellowship Program. And in fact, Jonathan was officially our first Anatomy Fellow, and so for that he will always hold a very special place in the heart of the Anatomy Department. He did a tremendous amount of work to help shape the program and make it the success that it is today. The Anatomy Fellowship Program really has 3 core components: research, teaching, and dissection, and Jonathan just excelled in all 3 of those areas. And so, congratulations, John. Are you out there? You need to come get your sash for tomorrow? Or are you knee-deep in a cadaver? So, congratulations on all of your accomplishments. Here's your sash. I don't know if we're supposed to put this on. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good evening. I have 4 fellows to recognize tonight. These are our pre-doctorate osteopathic principles and practices fellows. We keep our fellows very busy in our department. They have a lot of responsibilities. They see patients in a clinical setting, and they do an excellent job with that patient care. They do research, and they do a whole lot of teaching. In addition, we've had 2 fellows this year who have also published a book. So we've really had a lot of accomplishments with this class of fellows, and we'll really miss them. So if I could ask Tony Furlano, Lauren Prest, Amber Kuhn and Nate Nacken to please come to the stage so I can present the stoles. Now our stoles on one side say OPP Fellow, and on the other side have the Ram of Reason. Now Dr. A.T. Still wrote about the Ram of Reason in his 1897 autobiography. And Dr. Still was first an MD, for those of you who don't know, and he was a little bit frustrated, to say the least, with the way medicine was practiced in his times. And so he studied the human body, and through his study reasoned that structure and function must be interrelated. And he also talked about how rational treatment would follow on this relationship. And for those reasons, we teach all of our students the hands-on osteopathic manual medicine skills. So these fellows have dedicated an additional year of their careers to further those hands-on osteopathic skills. And so we have the Ram of Reason on their graduation stole to remind and honor them of this tradition. Now, in addition, our Ram of Reason was designed and drawn by our own Tony Furlano. So Tony and Lauren wrote the Manual of Selected Osteopathic Technique, which is available on Amazon. And Tony did many, many line drawings for this book, and it's just an amazing book. I've taken it to my national meetings, and everyone's been really impressed by it. So he's a crack ace artist, as well as he was always my go-to guy. Hey, Tony, do you want to come to Copper Mountain and teach with me? Sure. Tony, can you write some extra test questions? Sure. So, Tony, thank you so much for all of your work. Next in line, we have Lauren Prest. So Lauren also was co-author, but I also think of her as our research maven. So in addition to her mad writing skills, she was also most excellent at research and did a lot with global medicine. So thank you for all your work, Lauren. Next in line is soon-to-be Dr. Nate Nacken. Nate was interesting because he's such a quiet guy, and he really took us by surprise the first time he did a lecture. Now, you have to realize these guys are lecturing to sometimes up to 175 students in the classroom, and they're just, 2 years ahead of the students that they're lecturing. And Nate was so quiet and calm, and he just got out there and wowed us all. And especially when he started speaking Mandarin Chinese, which he's fluent in. So thank you for all your work, Nate. And last but certainly not least is Amber Kuhn. Now, Amber's going into general surgery, and I'm pretty convinced that she's going to be the first surgeon out there who has an OMM clinic and wears sparkly shoes and a sparkly shirt. So Amber has been nicknamed Sparkles, and it's because she always had a way of brightening up the room when she walked in with her smile and her jokes and just her general caring nature. So thank you for all your work, Amber. Thank you.
On behalf of the graduating OPP predoctoral fellows, we also would like to present an award. It's the Osteopathic Mentor Award, and we present it to either a faculty member or adjunct faculty member who we feel best embodies the osteopathic teaching spirit. This individual has exhibited a continued dedication for teaching and eagerness to expand the boundaries of Osteopathic Medicine and has been instrumental in the Fellows' learning over the course of the fellowship. This year, the Fellows would like to recognize, thank, and congratulate Dr. Dana England.
Does it make you wonder if the RVU Fighting Prairie Dog came up across the Ram of Reason, who do you think would win? I'm not sure, but it'd be fun to watch, wouldn't it? All right, we'd like to start off with, continue on with a couple of our awards, and I would like to introduce. I'm being stalked. I'm not sure why. I'd like to introduce Rear Admiral Zachary Taylor, MD, MS, who will be presenting the 2014 Excellence in Public Health Award. Rear Admiral Dr. Taylor. I'm not sure which title to use.
Well, I'm just going to add to the confusion. I'm Assistant Surgeon General Zachary Taylor, and I'm a medical officer in the Commissioned Corps of the United States Public Health Service. I'm here tonight on behalf of the Surgeon General of the United States to recognize an outstanding student from Rocky Vista University College of Medicine who has been selected to receive the 2014 Excellence in Public Health Award. Just a little history of my service. The Public Health Service was founded in 1798 to provide medical care to sailors and merchant seamen with yellow fever and malaria. Over the subsequent 216 years, our mission has broadened to deliver health promotion and disease prevention programs to all Americans. Today, the Commissioned Corps of the Public Health Service is dedicated to serving on the front lines in the nation's fight against disease and poor health conditions. On behalf of the Chief Medical Officer of the U.S. Public Health Service, I would like to recognize Reagan Stigman with the 2014 Excellence in Public Health Award. I'm going to read some things that you probably all know because she's such an accomplished young woman, but Reagan is nominated for the grit, fire, and guts it takes to help reframe American medicine. In 2010, she was elected president of the university's class of 2014 and has repeatedly been re-elected to serve as president throughout each year of her medical school training. I don't know whether that was smart or something else. Throughout her tenure, she has worked as an advocate for her fellow student doctors with regard to maintaining well-being, academics, and curriculum, and she also fostered solid interactive relationships with faculty members and the school's board. Despite her desire to expand her medical horizons, throughout her clinical rotations, she found the most satisfaction and success in the elective rotations that she arranged, all of which were in the fields of public health, preventive, integrative, and lifestyle medicine. Reagan is devout in her dedication to help shift the current American medical model from a disease-centric system into a health maintenance system. In March of 2013, Reagan was elected president of the American College of Preventive Medicine Medical Students Section. In this position, she advocates for over 370 medical students nationally and internationally within the field of preventive medicine. She spearheads the social media outlets, compiles and disseminates quarterly reports and updates, and is currently working with her officers and the American College of Preventive Medicine Board of Trustees to expand the exposure of preventive medicine into more schools by establishing national and international American College of Preventive Medicine chapters. This past October, Reagan attended the American College of Lifestyle Medicine Conference in Washington, D.C., and there she helped found the American College of Lifestyle Medicine Professionals in Training National Executive Board. Her current research pertains to weight loss maintenance and reinforcement, coaching through teamwork strategy. She's determined to find simple solutions to difficult questions regarding true efficacy and effect. Reagan has also been an active participant in various volunteer activities over the past 4 years. I think we all want the generations that follow us to be more successful and to accomplish more than we have been able to. Reagan is well on her way to making this wish a reality. Thank you, Reagan, for your dedication to public health, and we hope that you consider a career in public health with the U.S. Public Health Service.
We'd like to move on to the Clinical Year Awards. I'd like to have Dr. Brandow come to the podium and Dr. Tiemann as well. Our first award, as they're walking to the podium, is the Internal Medicine Award. And as an internist myself, I get the pleasure of being able to announce the recipient of the Internal Medicine Clinical Year Award. And we'd like to congratulate Aaron Philpott. Aaron. I now turn the podium over to Dr. Brandow.
Good evening, and it is my pleasure to be able to participate in this part of the program of introducing these awards for outstanding clinical achievement in years 3 and 4. The criteria that we have used involves all aspects of scholarship, performance on examinations, board examinations, preceptor evals of student performance, and levels of praise and professionalism that really makes the osteopathic physician what they are. So we will continue then with those awards, and the next award that's my pleasure to introduce is a Subspecialty Medicine Award, and the recipient of that award is Reagan Stegman. Our next award that we want to announce is in family medicine, and that award goes to Megan Sankey. The next clinical award is in the area of pathology, and this goes to Kabir Shah. Is Kabir here tonight? Okay. Yeah. The next award is I'm especially pleased to be able to award, and that's for outstanding clinical achievement in pediatrics, and this goes to Kelly Nicole Parker. Is Kelly here tonight? No? Okay. Dr. Told says she better be here tomorrow. So, the next award is in psychiatry, and this award goes to Lauren Prest. And the last award that I will announce tonight is in the area of radiology, and this goes to Lee Holder. No, not here? Okay. At this time, I'll turn the microphone over to Dr. Mike Tiemann, Chair of Specialty Medicine, who does tremendous work for our students in the 3rd and 4th year in what we refer to as kind of the cutting specialty areas. So, Dr. Tiemann.
I want to thank Dr. Brandow for giving me the privilege of awarding the awards in the specialties of surgery, the subspecialties of surgery, and the surgery-related specialties of OBGYN, anesthesia, and emergency medicine. In the class of 2014, we've had 50 students who've matched into these 5 areas of specialty medicine, and I think they all deserve a great round of applause. For the award in surgery, there were 11 students in the class of 2014 who matched into general surgery. The winner of the award will be doing his residency at the University of Texas in San Antonio, and that is Nick Robbins. In the area of subspecialty surgery, we've had 4 students who've matched into orthopedic surgery, 2 in neurosurgery, and 1 in ENT and facial plastics. The winner of the award will be doing his residency at the University of Missouri in neurosurgery, and that is Slava Makler. Here? No, okay. He'll be here tomorrow. In the area of OBGYN, we've had 8 students who've matched into OBGYN residencies in the class of 2014. And the winner of the award will be doing her residency at the Ohio University Heritage College of Osteopathic Medicine, and that is Jillian Kurtz. And Jillian may not be here. I understand that Jillian was a little under the weather, so I think she's getting ready for the graduation ceremony tomorrow. In the field of anesthesiology, we've had 8 students in this class who've matched into residencies in anesthesia. The winner of the award will be doing his residency at the University of Kansas in Wichita, and that is Lucas Sittner. Little story about Lucas is we were sitting and having lunch today at the faculty lunch, and I said, Lucas, you're going to be at the award ceremony tonight? And he said, no, I'm not coming. I said, I think you better. In the field of emergency medicine, we've had 16 students in this class who've matched into residencies in emergency medicine, and many at very outstanding programs. This award is actually going to be awarded to 2 students because the criteria that Dr. Branda expressed were so close that we couldn't make a distinction between the 2. The first winner will be doing her residency in the Army at the Georgia Regents University in Augusta, Georgia, and that is Carissa Shalhoub. And while Carissa is making her way to the podium, we'll announce the second winner, and that person will be doing her residency at Bay State Medical Center in Springfield, Massachusetts, and that is Sarah Watkins.
right here. Oh, okay. Oh, that's you.
Dr. Tiemann was looking pretty happy there at the end. Congratulations to everybody. It's really fantastic, everything that, that you guys have done. Congratulations to everybody. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce our interim dean, who will be taking over the MC ceremonies from here on out, Dr. Tom Told. Please give him a huge round of applause. Dr. Told.
Okay, I'll find my place on the part. Now for the departmental awards, and we'll kind of go in order. Dr. Buck would be our first presenter of the Anatomy and Structural Medicine Award, followed by Dr. Ketchum, and then followed by Dr. Johns Cox for Osteopathic Principles in Practice, and then followed by Dr. Stasio for the Principles of Clinical Medicine, and then finally Mr. Schwartz for Medical Informatics. So if we want to line up that way, the first will be Dr. Buck for structural medicine. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Told. First, congratulations to all members of the class of 2014. You've done an extremely good job while you were at school. You've gotten some wonderful residencies. We're extremely proud of you, and good luck in your bright futures. All right, now what I'm here for. The award for excellence in structural medicine this year goes to Nicholas A. Beckman. And he's here.
You're right here, Dr. Ketchum. You're lined up. Perfect. Yeah, that's good.
And I didn't even line up. I was shocked. Again, to echo Dr. Buck, congratulations to all of you on a big evening tonight and a bigger day tomorrow. I am here to represent the Department of Biomedical Sciences, which is the largest academic department on the campus. That is because we teach the broadest array of topics: cell biology, molecular biology, biochemistry, physiology, including all the aspects of physiology and histology. Some of us even participate in the gross anatomy, and so we do represent a significant component of the curriculum that you were presented in your first year. And after hours and hours of lengthy discussion and strong disputation, the department has awarded the award for excellence to soon-to-be Dr. Raina Dahl. I feel like a giant.
Hello again. I'm here to present the Osteopathic Principles and Practices Departmental Award. This award goes out to the student who shows outstanding promise and interest in the subject of osteopathic principles and practices. This particular student was interested from day one of first year in OPP, as we refer to it, and she's continued that throughout her clinical rotation years. And I'm just so excited that she will be staying in the state of Colorado. And I'm happy for her about that, because probably the only thing that rivals her love of family medicine and OPP would be her love of this beautiful state. So if I could have soon-to-be Dr. Corinne Reed come to the stage.
First, I'd like to offer my congratulations to the 2014 team. Good luck. Certainly have myself and the department are privileged to teach you guys. So this award is for the outstanding students in clinical medicine, and there were many excellent candidates. So we finally decided that Rena Dollar.
Good evening. I'd like to add the congratulations to the medical informatics.
I thought that was great. Just like our curriculum, ran with the precision of a Swiss clock. Now, don't you think that was great? The next will be the awards for the top 10% of the class. And so the following students, please come forward. Nicholas Lee Robbins, Kelly Nicole Parker, Aaron Raina Jean Dole, Jillian Kurtz, Nicholas Allen Beckman, and Radon William Up. Maybe we'll stop right there, and I'll go ahead and because we got quite a list. So all of you come up. We go ahead and give you those awards. Julia Day Cameron Morrison, Tanya, how do you say that? Gorkinski? I'm sorry. I didn't go to the table where I was supposed to learn how to say your names. Dr. Pitcher. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Tina. Lee Isaac Holder, Jessica Louise Gilbert, Rachel Lynn Nebelsick, John Hawkins, Megan Nicole Sankey, and Elizabeth McKay. Good. what a tremendous accomplishment for these people to really stay that focused. You know, it's just, it's an incredible, you know, testament to dedication and heroes and things that Dr. Vin had talked about. And now we'll call Dr. Putoff to the stand to review the pathologic basis for the delivery of the Military Service Award. So here we go.
As a former military physician, I'm delighted the investments and the outcomes that we've had in military medicine at Rocky Vista. So it's a real pleasure to give this award. But before I do that, very quickly, I want to recognize some military physicians, some dignitaries that are here tonight. You all got an opportunity to hear Admiral Zachary Taylor, Assistant Surgeon General. Thank you for being here tonight, Admiral Taylor. I doubt there is anyone here who does not know Dr. Tony Laporta, Colonel retired U.S. Army surgeon. Tony, please stand up. And a special dignitary who will be commissioning our graduates into the medical corps of the Army, Navy, and Air Force tomorrow, Lieutenant General Douglas Robb. General Robb is Commanding General, Defense Health Agency, which is a joint service and a very large command currently. Our awardee tonight gets 2 awards. Not only does she receive the Military Service Award, but also Student DO of the Year, which she will be tonight and for a couple of hours in the morning. But it's still not too late to get the award. It goes to a lady who will be taking an emergency medicine residency at Georgia Regents University, Admiral Taylor's old stomping grounds, Genevieve Mueller.
Next on the program will be the Rural Track Award, and we have 11 rural trackers that survived all of our outings. As my other hat in the university is the director of the Rural and Wilderness Medicine Program, but with Jess Anderson, Siobhan Finn, Bill Francis, who I'm not sure is here, Jessica Gilbert, Elizabeth Jelnick, Robert Petro, Corinne Reiser-Reed, Dorothy Sizemore, John Vivolo, Chris Walsdorp, and Megan Young. Please come to the stand. You do that with it. While they're coming up, we'll go ahead and present their sashes to them tomorrow that say Wilderness Medicine with a seal of the school on the other side. I've tried for 3 years to get elk horns on those sashes, and I think Julie Rosenthal hurries and gets them done about, it was November this year, so that I couldn't by the time I remembered, so I apologize to the Rural and Wilderness Medicine class in advance. This class distinguished itself as catching more fish with homemade hooks than any other class at Rocky Vista University. So I think that that's certainly befitting. We do, however, pick out of this, and it's a hard distinction to make, but we do have, of those people, the awards for the outstanding person in clinical excellence, of which there were 2, and for the highest award for academic excellence, at which there were 2. So outstanding clinical excellence will go to Corinne Reed, and John Vivolo. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Actually, it's a fly tying kit. No, it's it'll be all right. And the award for academic excellence goes to Jess Anderson and Jessica Gilbert. Okay. Thank you, and we'll give you your sashes tomorrow. It was that everybody was not, we weren't sure everybody was going to be here tonight, so we'll do that. Thank you for coming out for that service. Yeah. What's that? Oh, we got to get a whole. Yeah, okay. Cuddle up. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Now the Global Service Award will be presented by Dr. Bentley.
The Global Medicine Department of Rocky Vista University might be the smallest department there, but our impact is truly felt around the world. This past academic year, 67 RVU students traveled to 21 countries, expanding their awareness of diverse cultures and the healthcare needs of others, while honing their skills as future physicians. Through their efforts, they assisted in changing the lives and health status of people living in far-off places such as Moldova, Kenya, Nepal, Bolivia, Serbia, and Botswana. During the past 2 years, 26 members of this graduating class completed at least one international rotation in 17 different countries in 6 continents. The only place we haven't traveled is Antarctica. So if anybody knows of a clinical site that we can do a 1-month rotation, let me know. I'll plan a trip. This year we also have, we're going to recognize the inaugural class of the RVU Honors Global Medicine track. And so I'm going to call those students up and tell you a little bit about them. If you're here tonight, please come up. Brittany Van Beek, Edward Lynn, Aaron Philpott, Janie Luong, Jesse Robertson, Kelly McGuire, Kevin Doherty, Melissa Fuhan, Tom Rogers, and Vanessa Campbell. If you would all come up. There are 10 students in the class. I think 8 of them are here tonight. These students participated in 90 additional hours of classroom didactics during their preclinical years, and each completed 3 global medicine-related clinical and/or research rotations, all while remaining in good academic standing so that they can graduate tonight. In total, they traveled to 20 countries on 6 continents. They authored or co-authored numerous posters, and 4 of them were presented nationally. I'm very proud of all of you. And you're all winners. You're all. Okay. So I have a sash for each of you to wear tomorrow for graduation. I also was asked to award the Global Medicine Global Outreach Award tonight. And the Global Medicine Committee looked at all, it's going to be one of you, and the Global Medicine Committee looked at all of your qualifications. And I have to say that this individual, when I met her, I was very quickly impressed by her intellect, her passion for learning, great personality, and tons of energy. And getting to know and work with Erin Philpott over the past 4 years has never made me think otherwise. Throughout her tenure in the track, Erin continued to maintain excellent grades while working and presenting multiple projects and posters at the national level. She performed 3 4-week outstanding clinical global rotations in Nepal, Mexico, and Bolivia, all while being a wife and mother of 2 children. For her notable accomplishments, I award you the Global Medicine. Okay. So let's give you this. Each of you tomorrow will wear the sash. And again, it just says Global Medicine. But
Well, we're certainly getting towards the end of the program, but we'd like to call Dr. Ketchum forward to present the Research Award. Dr. Ketchum.
So before I get to the actual award, I just want to congratulate all of you, but especially a couple of your classmates who participated in our research day earlier this week on Monday and really saved the day for us. Because of the weather, our keynote speaker didn't show up. But thanks to Sarah Mancini-Altenberg and Kabir Shah, as well as one of our first years, Hans Makula, 3 wonderful talks really emphasizing the value of biomedical research, translational from bench to bedside. And in that light, and because of his numerous other presentations throughout his academic career, our inaugural research award goes to student Dr. Kabir Shah. And I can't not do this. I wanted to give Kabir something a little special, and the most special thing I could really think of was because we were able to buy a new wide format printer this year. I got him a special certificate, and he really pissed me off because he's not here tonight. And I had asked him, and he said he was going to be here. So in any case, we will make sure Kabir gets this. I want to see it on the wall of his new office in Rochester, Minnesota, as he enters his pathology residency at the Mayo Clinic. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ketchum. Now we'll ask Dr. Martin to come to the stand to give out the Brandon Tercel Community Service Award.
Good evening. Congratulations, graduates. This class proves that we got it right. I have 3 awards to give, beginning with the Brandon Tercel Community Service Award. Brandon Tercel was a member of the class of 2013 and tragically died along with his sister in an auto accident going home over a winter break. Brandon's family has been very supportive of Rocky Vista University, has contributed money, and so we have named the Community Service Award in honor of Brandon. This award is given to one of our students that has been very involved, shows leadership, and most importantly, contributes to community service. These students work extremely hard, seeing patients, going through the books, taking tests, and at the same time, reaching out to the community, always giving. Yep, sorry. My wife's checking up on me. So the students not only work hard at learning medicine, but contribute back to their community in many different ways. So this award is to honor a member of this class who's done especially extensive community service. And that award goes to Lauren Prest. The next award is the William G. Anderson Resiliency Award. Dr. Anderson is a well-known veteran of the profession. The criteria for this award, we choose a student who has faced unusual hardships while they're in school and has successfully balanced those stressors with his or her academic and other contributions to Rocky Vista. Selection is based on attitude, most of all tenacity, and overall contributions to the school. This year's award goes to Jennifer Kennard. I guess Jennifer couldn't make it tonight. And finally, the Donna Jones Mortsugu Memorial Award. This award goes to the spouse of a medical student, a spouse of a graduating student who has chosen to exemplify the role of the professional's partner. Getting through medical school is hard. And if you're married, have kids, have a family, it's extremely difficult to manage all those stressors. And so we would like to recognize an outstanding spouse who's been there beside her husband all the way. And that goes to Olivia Heilman.
Now I'd like to call Dr. Unrein, one of our faculty who is the president of the Colorado Society of Osteopathic Medicine, to give the CSOM award.
Good evening, and I know it's getting late, but I want to add my, I feel it's a privilege to be here and congratulate all of you. And I wanted to add my name to the long list of people who've done that on your behalf. It's been an honor to be a part of your education, and I look forward to working with all of you in the future, perhaps through a professional organization like the Colorado Society of Osteopathic Medicine. CSOM is the organization that's the professional representation for osteopathic physicians, all specialties throughout the state. We work with the AOA, we work down at the Capitol locally on public policy issues, and we provide CME education for, with an osteopathic philosophy behind it. And it's one of your classmates that helped volunteer countless hours to help put on educational opportunities for practicing physicians out there for continuing medical education that we're giving this award to tonight. And that is Jessie Robertson. She couldn't be here tonight. We can give her a hand. As if graduating from medical school isn't enough, after graduation tomorrow she's getting married, and tonight is her rehearsal dinner, so that's why she's not here tonight. I had a long discussion with her about her priorities, and I'm not sure she has them correct, but nonetheless, she can't be here tonight, and I'll present this tomorrow with her for her graduation. Thanks to all of you. It's been a pleasure working with you. Congratulations, and I'm a little speechless up here because I'm so honored to be a part of your education. Good night.
Thank you, Dr. Unrein. We actually have 2 awards left, but before we do that, we wanted to show Dr. Vinn that we do have a strong spirit for the military, and so I'd like to call Dr. Putoff up for one last action or award. All right.
We want to get a group photo with all the military graduates, so if you would come on down. It's a rather large group. Hopefully most of you are still here. And Dr. Laporta, if you'd come up for this as well. For those of you that don't know, in the first 3 graduating classes, including this class, Rocky Vista University has placed 84 physicians in the Army, Navy, and Air Force. That may well be a record. I don't think any other institution has probably equaled that.
Thank you. Dr. Vinn, this is just one class. We have 3 others that go along with that. About 110 military students, so we're very proud of that. We have 2 awards left on the docket this evening. The first is the Dean's Award, which I will present, and then the President's Award, which Dr. Lovell will present after that. The Dean's Award is given to the person who has had the best overall academic record in all 4 years. The way we work things at Rocky Vista, usually the valedictorian is chosen out of the best academic record of the first 2 years, and then because of the clinicals, the difficulty in really averaging those all together to rank them, we usually go ahead and pick the valedictorian off the first 2 years. But the person who has been the most outstanding in all 4 years is Erin Philpott, as you know. And I asked her husband Jim if he had a truck to take all these awards home with tonight. So Erin, congratulations. Yeah, tremendous achievement for that, Erin, and congratulations. Dr. Lovell.
Thank you, Dr. Pleasure to present the President's Award. So in early April, I sent out an email asking all faculty, staff, and students from the class of 2014, asking you to nominate someone who represents or exemplifies our Rocky Vista University core values. As you know, our mission states that we provide quality healthcare education while inspiring students to serve with compassion, integrity, and excellence. Further, our core values include integrity, collegiality, compassion, diversity, excellence, and service. I received many excellent nominations, and tonight I'm pleased to present the 2014 President's Award to Student Doctor. I know it's only just for a few more hours, but Student Doctor to Ms. Reagan Stigman. I'm going to read a couple of things, if I can. Her nominators describe Reagan as an RVU student who was dedicated to osteopathic medicine, healthcare for all, and service to others. She's known as someone who has compassion and integrity. Reagan was responsible for starting a chapter of the Medical Students for Choice and served as president. One nominator notes that starting a chapter of an organization while balancing one's classes and clinical work is not easy. Reagan took the idea, which fills a very necessary niche in the area of providing responsible, compassionate care to women, and began it with no plan to create a political or religious division or to alienate her peers. Another nominator indicates Reagan faithfully served her colleagues as representatives to student government, as well as the class president of 2014, where she's demonstrated exemplary compassion, collegiality when working with her classmates. Further, she's represented excellence by successfully challenging herself academically, professionally at numerous conferences while demonstrating the utmost professionalism while serving in the United States Air Force throughout her medical education. Finally, another nominator shares that Reagan found her passion for preventative medicine, and she's an active voice in educating not only her patient, but her colleagues in resources for health promotion and disease prevention. I'm so pleased to honor her tonight and cannot think of a more deserving recipient of the 2014 President's Award, Ms. Reagan Stigman.
We've made it to the end of our evening. We have had some fantastic awards for some fantastic students, but tonight and tomorrow, every one of you are winners. You're graduating from Osteopathic Medical School. You are going very soon to be osteopathic physicians, and you all should be congratulated. Whether you walk away from here tonight with a plaque or a certificate, every one of you will walk away tomorrow with a diploma, and congratulations for that.
And a job.
And a job.
And a job. That's
now,
right.
If anybody is thinking about not showing up for tomorrow, you need to fill out the form with the phase directors and then talk to the deans, and then you won't get your diploma anyway. So, yeah, actually, Dr. Told and I take Visa, MasterCard, American Express, no Discover card, I'm sorry. But if you're not going to be there tomorrow, you'll have to pay up to get your diploma. One last thing before we wrap up, and I'll let Dr. Told have the last word. I'd like everybody in the room who's not a student to stand up. Everybody who is a faculty, staff, administration, guest, family member, board member, AOA president, their wives, my wife, anybody else. And I want all of us to turn to the graduates and give them a rousing round of applause. Congratulations to every one of you. And seeing nothing else for the good of the order, I turn this mic over to Dr. Told to conclude the evening.
Remember, don't party too hardy, and we will meet at the Ellie in the morning, okay? Good. Thank you all for coming.
Good night.
Yeah. All right. Good job. Thank you.